Hola, hello, shalom, maraba. You know, some people never know where I'm from, but we're about to find out. And I'm here with Joe Scrocca.
Scrocca, yes. Thank you, Maribel, for having me on the show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for coming all the way from New Jersey, 4 hours away.
I drive everywhere for comedy.
That's excellent. And it's so funny how we met on social media.
Yeah.
And it was just through speaking on social media, and then we go to an audition. We didn't know that we were going to the same audition all the way in Connecticut.
Reminded me of the Blair Witch Project out there, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. Go ahead. It was a cool spot.
It really was. It really was. I wasn't prepared for it. I had no idea what we were going to do, but it was fun. And they liked us, so they're going to bring us all back. So that's cool.
Yeah, that was a great pilot. Yes. So hopefully it makes it, and we'll be in the movies one day.
That would be good. You know, I'm in 2 indie films right now, which is pretty cool. I never got into comedy to be an actor, but people think, oh well, you do stand up, so you're able to act. I guess I did okay because I'm in 2 movies.
Yeah. You're in 2 movies. What movies are you in?
The first one, and I swear I thought this was a prank when I got the phone call, producer out in L.A., award-winning filmmaker Steve Oakley called and left me a message. Said, I found you on social media. You'd be great for this part in my movie, which is, the title is Steinberg Plays Peoria. And there's part 1 and part 2. I'm in part 2. And...
what was your role?
My role was just, basically was just having a conversation, talking to him as a friend, just going over. I don't even remember the lines, but there were like 3 pages of lines, and it was fun. Whether or not it did anything,
Did they dress you up? Did they make you look like a character?
No.
Any character?
The second film I had to dress up. They had no wardrobe money, so I had to buy a flannel shirt. The producer said, listen, I want you to come in jeans and a T-shirt. Great, I have jeans and T-shirts. Says, no, on second thought, I want a flannel shirt. And I said, do I look like the type of person who owns a flannel shirt? So I went and spent $60 on a flannel shirt.
Oh my gosh.
And, but it was fun. It was a fun shoot in New York City over the summer. And that movie's going to come out they're going to have a screening in January, somewhere in New York City. And that's the title of that is All the Bands of the 80s. So that'll be interesting.
That's fun. That's so exciting.
Yeah, but
Who do people? I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to say I never sought out to do anything but stand up.
Oh, that's so great. But you've been working really hard on just being seen, being noticed, and going to all these different venues in different states. Going to New Jersey, Connecticut, Florida, New York. He's been performing all over the world. He's a national headliner. He is a headliner. You were headlined in New Jersey.
Yeah, I headlined a couple shows in New Jersey. I'm mainly right now an opener feature, but I've headlined and I plan on doing more headlining in 2026. But the reason I'm pushing so hard is I'm 64, so time is not on my side. So if I have a shot to make it, anywhere in this business, I've got to get it done fast because, I don't have that normal 10 years.
You look younger than 64.
Well, thank you.
That's great. You look amazing.
Well, like I told you before, I said I moisturize, so that might be that might be the
Who
trick.
do people tell you look like?
Who?
Yeah.
Tony Soprano, a little bit.
Yes.
Danny DeVito. My son calls me Danny DeVito.
That's funny, yes.
Yeah,
you do look like that. You know who you look like to me? You look like Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
Yeah, he totally looked like.
Oh, we're going to wear the Benny Hill.
Yeah, here we go.
Now, see, Benny Hill wasn't a gangster. You put this hat on me,
Wait,
and I look like a mobster with this hat. You look like you're going to say, hey, Joey, I got somebody I need you to take care of. But it's a cute hat. It is a Benny Hill hat, but I'm not, with this hat, I'm not Benny Hill. I'm like Joey Four Fingers.
Yeah, you're really cute, though, regardless.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Well, like I told you, I have. Do I feel cute?
Yeah,
no.
you feel cute.
I feel like I'm immature. I just feel like I'm 10 years old.
I love it.
My wife used to say she was raising a 12-year-old and a perpetual 7-year-old. Me being the perpetual 7-year-old. So
you have kids?
Yeah, I have a son, 34, and he went to school right around the corner at Hofstra. He did 4 years for film production.
Okay.
And that money was well spent because now he's a short order cook.
Wow. Oh, funny. So we ended up you went from New Jersey, Well, you grew up in Long Island?
No, I grew up in New Jersey. I grew up in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh,
And I've been there my whole life, pretty much.
You're a Jersey Shore kind of guy.
Yeah. I never get to the beach because I'm always working, but, you know.
Yeah. Did you ever meet with the girl on the Jersey Shore? She made it.
No, that was up in Seaside.
Oh, that was Seaside.
Yeah, that was far.
I forgot what her name was.
Snooki?
Snooki. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I know of her. I never met her.
Never met her. Okay.
They did. The two of the guys came down and filmed a Wawa commercial at the Wawa in Wildwood when Wawa first came out with pizza.
Oh.
And if you know, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to get sued, but I've had better pizza.
He's had better pizza. All pizza tastes kind of the same to me, but because I don't know, it's like, does water taste the same to you? All bottles of water taste a little bit differently too.
Yeah.
To me, you know, I couldn't get it when somebody told me, "Oh, that water Zephyr Hills, it doesn't taste good." And I'm like, "It's water. Water is water." But then I started to pay attention to it, and your taste buds kind of change as you're in life and as you're tasting these.
Maybe because I'm older, I don't notice it.
No,
as long as it's wet and it quenches my thirst, that's
it.
Yeah.
So tell me about your show. I know what's your set about when you do your comedy.
So I'm 64, so I've had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me over the course of my life, and for years I've just sat down, having coffee, having a drink, having the dinner table, telling these stories to people, and they're funny stories and they're true stories. But what I had to do is learn how to condense them down to be able to do it as a stand-up act. So basically, everything I talk about, there's some truth. And there's some embellishment, but everything starts with something that I really experienced.
Yeah, comedians actually embellish everything, but they're all actually true life stories that we go through and that we express to ourselves during comedy.
Yeah, I think those are the best type of comedy sets. If you're a storyteller, and I'm a storyteller, I'm not really a one-liner. The show we did last week together in Connecticut, we kind of got thrown into doing one-liners, so I just had to pull some stuff out of my rear end, and I did. So, but I'm not really a one-liner. Yeah, okay. Well, that's the source of a lot of my material.
In comedy? Tell me about that.
So, I was 62. It was December 2023, and people always say, "Oh, you got started late. Was it a lifelong dream or a bucket list item?" No, I didn't think of doing comedy until December 2023 when I finally got sick and tired of dating crazy women, and I decided, let me do something fun and let me try stand-up comedy. And I didn't take a course. I did an open mic. The first open mic I did was in a pub I won't name the town, but it was in Central Jersey, and it turned out to be a hangout for a notorious New Jersey motorcycle club. So my first audience was those guys, and I was worried. I wasn't nervous about doing my first open mic. I was nervous about getting killed.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And how'd the crazy woman come into your life that made you do comedy?
I dated a woman for 8 years, and towards the end of the relationship, she thought it would be nice to, we weren't involved in anything intimate. I just, was sitting on her couch, talking on the phone, watching TV. She stood up on the couch, pulled her pants down, and started peeing on me. And then she looked at me.
Golden shower.
Yeah. And then I said to her, "What's this about?" She said, "I thought you would like it." I said, "What have I ever said or
Russian?
done?" No, she's Jewish.
Oh, a Jewish girl.
Yeah.
She likes to pee on men.
Well, she'd like to pee on me. I don't know how many other men she peed on, and I did not care for it. And so then after we were no longer a couple, I dated this girl that was a heroin addict, and she had me firmly convinced that her track marks were cat scratches. And then after a couple of weeks, I realized she didn't have a cat. So I said, enough with this. I'm just not gonna deal with this. Let me do something fun. I decided, let me try stand up, and it's been a fun ride so far. I've done some crazy shows. I did a show at Gotham Comedy earlier this year where it was just a new comic showcase, but Jim Gaffigan and Jerry Seinfeld came in and went on before me. So, it was no big deal for a first-year comedian to have to follow 40 combined minutes of Seinfeld and Gaffigan. And it was fun. It was a challenge. I said, well, if I could make these people still laugh, which I did, it was a success.
Right.
I did go out after my set and throw up in the street from my nerves, but
Oh, geez. Did you really?
yeah, it was
my God.
well, with dry
You were
heaves,
that
but it was
nervous.
like,
Yeah.
you know, I kept it together on stage, but as soon as I was done, I ran out to the street and was like, oh, this isn't good.
Yeah.
But,
So, Joe, you've been making it so, comedy look so easy, but I know it's been difficult. And I know you're climbing to the top, you're headlining shows and you're doing all these things. What is it? How is it that you commute and stuff? Do you have a girlfriend or that you?
I have a girlfriend, Tina, and she's very supportive of the comedy. She's one of the few people that I've dated. I dated a woman after the second date. She wanted me to quit, and I said, no, I'd rather break up with you. And that's what we did. But
Yeah.
now Tina's very supportive. My son's very supportive. My son's very critical. He's my number one critic. And, he's the one that I usually run everything by first. And then he helps me edit and time it. And,
How long have you been doing comedy?
I just passed my 23rd month anniversary. December 14th will be 2 years.
Wow, 2 years. That's fantastic. There's been so many like haters, people who envy and gossipers and things like that. And you're doing in such a short time that you're just climbing that ladder, headlining. And people say to me, some jealous other people, they'll say, you're never getting to the top right at the beginning. Yeah, you're crazy if you think you're going to get on a movie set next year or in a month. It takes years and years. But honestly, from what I'm seeing is that there are comedians out there, they get on movie sets within the first year that they're on a movie set. So
I'm a firm believer you can make things happen. And I've always been that way, whether it's been in my business life or, in comedy, I just go after it. And there are a lot of people, you didn't pay your dues, you're jumping the lines. Look, there are no rules. If you're funny, you're going to get hired. And if you're aggressive and you go after shows, and that's what I do. I reach out to promoters. Hey, listen, here's my reel. And it's a 5-minute set that I did at Broadway Comedy last December. And it just, it's fun to get strong laughs from a New York City crowd. So I think by far they're the toughest crowd.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed that set and I get a lot of work from that short reel.
How many months in from the day that you got into a movie set from doing comedy? So how many days from being on stage later? A few months later, a year later?
No, maybe 6-7 months. I got a call from Steve Oakley. I thought it was a prank. He left a message. I'm like, and I Googled and I said, no, this guy's for real. Let me call him back.
Wow.
And I said, I found you online. You're perfect for this, for this particular character. And I said, okay. I said, I told him, I said, I'm not an actor. I'm a comedian. I'll do my best. Just don't worry about it.
Social media works, guys. Social media works.
Oh, that's how people find you. That's
how people find you. That's how Joe found me, and I found him, and we ended up in Connecticut together. And I hadn't seen him in person until we ended up at the same audition, because what we do is we travel all over the place. This is a hotkey for those who want to make it in the world of comedy and be up there. It's just showing up to all open mics, keep practicing your set every day, and trying not to use notes. Because did you use notes at the beginning when you first did comedy?
No. I mean, at open mics, I did because it's new stuff and you're trying to work that stuff out.
Right.
But no, I mean.
Did you ever go to school? Classes? Comedy classes?
No, I woke up and did it. I just woke up and did it.
He's a natural. He's just a natural.
And I even had people, bookers, other comedians come up and say, your timing's spot on, your stage presence. People say, oh, don't you get nervous? No, what am I going to get nervous for?
Right. So your comedy is a lot about real life situations, like every other comic also, but what exactly do you talk about? My comedy is naughty, but it's not raunchy and it's not dirty. But so what type of comedy, what do you talk about?
So, I mean, it's a broad range. It goes from clean to, I won't say it's vulgar. I certainly don't use vulgarity for the sake of using vulgarity.
Rated R or PG?
I would say PG-13 to R. I mean, if I had to keep it PG-13, I could. But I think I was telling you before the show, I have a true story about getting a titty whipping at a strip club. Now, you can't tell a story about a titty whipping without saying titty. So, I have to judge the audience. Is this the right audience for this particular thing? Probably the filthiest thing, and it's not horribly filthy. I tell a story I said, I'd like to tell you a cute story about the first time I had
Some
sex
water
with a
there, too, if you want.
prostitute.
Oh.
And it gets a little, but the quote unquote vulgarity in the story, it tells the story. It's not, I'm not using a curse word just to get a shock or a response out of people. It fits in.
Right.
But I would never, if it was a PG-13 show, I would never tell that story.
Right. So that's good. So in my jokes, I went to this a comedy show and I wanted to audition for it because it has to be clean cut comedy. Clean, squeaky clean is what they call it. So I went there, I started talking about my set and my emergency panties and my boobies and my nipples and all kinds of stuff. And they're like, nope, done, cut, out, get out. I'm like, she goes, this is a biblical place. We're in heaven here. And you have the cross on the back of her studio. And it's very hard to do squeaky clean jokes. But a lot of comedy shows, they want you to be that type of, have that type of set. So I'm trying to clean up my act out now and stuff like that.
Yeah,
to get that done.
Me too. I'm trying to work on a 15 to 20 minute absolutely clean set that they wouldn't tell me to cut it at a venue like where you were. I don't think it's for me, for my material. I don't think I'm as funny, but there's still ridiculously, crazy stories that are clean.
Hysterical and clean and
Like,
funny.
I tell you one real quick. So, my ex-wife, she, back in the day when you had the flip phones, you could text, but it was a pain to text, so everything was abbreviated.
Right.
She texted me, PUMLK, so pick up milk. I said K. She said the number 10, the letter Q. Now, I thought she wanted me to get 10 quarts of milk. I come home with 2.5 gallons of milk. She says, why'd you get all this milk? You said 10Q, 10 quarts. She said, no, that was short for thank you. Oh. I guess that was before we realized TY would do the trick.
Jeez.
But that was just one. So, it's not as, it's cute. It's fun.
It's funny. So you're cleaning it up.
And there's stuff that's borderline,
So my key to life is to the women about the boobs, because I talk a lot about, I say one of my jokes, the nipple jokes, because I say, that dating site that's called Plenty of Fish, it needs to be called Plenty of Sausage. And so, and then a guy called me out and I said, hey, why don't you take your shirt off and show me how you move around those pecs, And he says, you take your shirt off first. And I say to him, I said, why are you so infatuated with nipples? I don't understand. You have them, your mother has them, and your dog probably has them too. Did you know that cats have 6 to 8 nipples? Cats.
I have a cat. He's a male, so I don't think he has nipples, but I'm not going to check.
Yeah. Do you? And dogs have between 8 and 10 nipples. They have even more.
Yeah. My son has a female dog, and I think I've seen them. Not that I'm looking.
Really? Yeah. So that's why, and I say to the guy, now I know why a dog is a man's best friend. It's got a lot of nipples. Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I can never understand how, why a man gets so excited about it. Everybody has them. He has them, man has them. I said, it's just they're flat or they're inverted, they're protruding, whatever it is. And
that's the fascination. There's such a variety.
There's such a variety.
Yeah. And,
when you go to different countries, it's okay. You go topless, you're in there. It's no big deal. And the men can care less about the nipples. But here in America, it seems like, you go to Jones Beach and cold weathered state like us. In Florida, it's no big deal. There's people go topless on the beach.
In South Beach.
Here in New York, they're like, oh, she has no top on. I'm like, you have nipples too. Go play with your own.
But as comedians, I think we can relate overall that people have to lighten up.
Yes.
I know people will always come to comedy shows to look for something to be offended by. And if you do that, just stay home. Don't come to the show.
Yeah.
Have
you ever called out people in the show, in the audience, like if they're distractions? Like I've been on sets and seen that the audience member is sleeping. They fell asleep. And one of the comics that was performing called out the guy that's sitting there sleeping and said, hey, are you really falling asleep on my set? Like, why are you here? Dude, why are you here? And I was like, oh my God, it ruined the whole entire momentum Have you ever done that?
No. I just go with the flow. I mean, if they sleep, they sleep. But I'll tell you a funny story. I did a show at a nursing home, and it was at 1:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday. And I soon found out that also coincided with nap time. The entire audience was asleep, but I didn't put them asleep. They were asleep by the time I got to the microphone. So I looked at it and I said, you know what? I'm going to start reciting the Gettysburg Address. If I don't get a single reaction, I know these people are either dead or sleeping.
Well, the majority of them on wheelchairs.
No, a couple were on wheelchairs, but it was nap
They're just
time.
sleeping. I know. You know what stinks about doing comedy for an audience an adult audience that are kind of handicapped and stuff? You never get a standing ovation. You get a sitting ovation. I learned that in comedy. I couldn't believe it.
But yeah, it's you know what? But it's as long as they're laughing, they could sit, they could stand, they could roll over. I don't, it's just you're there to make them laugh, and if you do that, you've done your job. And I always that's how I gauge it, and I always try to
right. You know what stinks in comedy too is that in the Keys for Life. Is that sometimes they cut you out. They shut down your set. They tell you there's going to be no show. You prepare for a show. You set up your stage presence. You put on this beautiful clothes, just like Joe came in and put on his comedy clothes, ready for the podcast, and myself too. And next thing you go up to the stage right an hour before, and they're telling you the show's canceled because they don't sell enough tickets. It's like, what? You're pulling a Shakira on me? What the heck? I'm like, this is nonsense because I just flew from Florida to here to New York to do this show and it gets canceled. That's a disappointment. How do you handle that?
There's really nothing you can do. I mean, if I'm there, I'll say to them, okay, look, we're here. There's a few people in the audience. All right, I'm not going to get paid, but I'm here. Let me do 10 minutes.
Right.
And they won't normally.
It's hard. It's something. Just look out for that. It's a key that a lot of venues do that, and it's okay. Just move on and look for your next set. Yeah. But where do you live?
I live in South Jersey, Cape May County, a little town called Tuckahoe.
Okay. And are you renting or are you selling?
No, I own. I've been there since 1988. So,
okay. Yeah. You own. Okay. A lot of people look to cohabitat or to have another home in Florida or New Jersey. And so I am a real estate agent by trade. And what I do for a living, that's my bread and butter, is real estate in New York. And I'm licensed in both states, in New York and New Jersey, and affiliated with 9 different offices. I am with RE/MAX. So I will come out and see everybody out. If you need to sell a home, I will come out and meet with you and consult. And my handle on Instagram is Maribel for Real Estate. And that's on TikTok, Instagram, on Facebook, on Maribel Torres. And this is Joe Scrocca. You have a lot. So
it's Joe Scrocca Comedy. It's JoeScrocca Comedy, and that's across all Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Again. Joe Scrocca Comedy, and the last name is spelled Scrocca.
Okay, yeah. So I always get that tongue twisted. I do speak 2 languages, and sometimes 3. My last name used to be Schnorr, and when I was married, and that name means freeloader so I don't use that anymore. Got rid of that guy. So we're all good now. I am Maribel Torres. And so we're gonna what's a really good key to life with comedy that you would suggest to newbies, to the new comedian out there?
Have fun with it. Don't get discouraged. Keep writing, rewriting till it works. I've got stuff that it has taken me 3, 4, 5 times to rewrite it or adjust it to get the laughs that I think that particular joke is worthy of getting. So it's always a work in progress. You can't get discouraged. You can't be easily distracted or detracted. If you're going to fail, I don't care who you are. Everybody from Chris Rock to Rodney Dangerfield, everybody's bombed. Everybody's had bad shows, bad sets, and you just have to learn from that and fix it and keep going. If you're serious.
That's it. Never let anybody tie you down, whether it's a husband, a spouse, a brother, a sister. You were going to hear advice from everyone. And at the end of the day, you make that final decision. absorb, take all the information in, and be the celebrity you are. Give yourself value, think about it, and make your own decisions, whether you want to move or do something else in your life. Because comedy, to be quite honest, it doesn't pay that much money. And so you always have to have a second job. This is just like therapeutic. It's always a second job. And that's how all these actors and actresses get started, is through comedy. And then, so my trade is, I'm a real estate agent in all over the States through Remax Masterpiece. And what do you do for a living?
I never told you this. I'm a mortgage broker in New Jersey.
You're kidding me.
No, I own my own mortgage company, Benchmark Mortgage.
There you go, Benchmark Mortgage. You can always reach out to Joe Scrocca.
Yes.
Joe Scrocca.
Joe.benchmark@comcast.net's my email. If you ever have mortgage questions, want to talk to me about comedy, booking me, or want me to send you a quick clip so you can see what kind of comedy I do. And there
you go. You'll have a funny mortgage broker, and you'll have your funny real estate agent. So that is so fantastic. I didn't know that about you. And so I just want to leave it off with this, is that we are all celebrities. And I don't care if you tell me, please don't call me a celebrity. That we are all celebrities because we all have talent. And if you need to show your talent out, just come be on my show. Let's talk about your talent. Be a celebrity that you are. Show up. And don't let anybody tie you down or hold you down from doing where you want to go or what you want to do in life. And that's how we'll leave it off.
All right. Thanks, Maribel.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great show.
Thank you.
Thank you.